Before we open this book, I want you to do something for me. Think about the last time you walked into a room. Maybe it was your office, your kitchen, or a party, and you could just feel the tension in the air. You didn't hear anything, no one said a word to you, but your gut tightened and you immediately thought, uh-oh, something's wrong here. Or think about the opposite. That one friend or coworker who, the moment they walk in, just seems to lift the entire mood of the room. They haven't done anything special, but suddenly things feel lighter, funnier, more hopeful. Have you ever wondered what that is? That invisible current that flows between people? It's not magic. It's the most fundamental, hidden force in our lives. It's the invisible currency we exchange in every single interaction, every single day. And that, my friends, is what we're going to uncover today in the first chapter of Daniel Goleman's Social Intelligence. He calls it the emotional economy. The deep dive. You can't not communicate emotion. Let's start with a story Goleman tells because it sets the stage perfectly. He's in a hurry in Manhattan, trying to cut through a building lobby to save time. Suddenly, a security guard storms over, waving his arms and screaming, "You can't walk through here! Private property!" Goleman, completely taken aback, tries to reason with him, but the guard just gets angrier, shouting, "Get out! Get out!" Now here's the crucial part. Goleman leaves, but for blocks afterward, he can feel the guard's anger churning in his own gut. Has that ever happened to you? Someone dumps their toxic feelings on you, and you end up carrying that negativity around long after they're gone? That is the essence of the emotional economy. Goleman says every single interaction we have is a transaction. We are constantly making each other feel a little better or a little worse. By the end of the day, your feeling of having a good day or a bad day is simply the net balance of all these tiny emotional exchanges. We are all participants in this economy, whether we know it or not. So how does this happen? How can someone else's anger literally jump into your body? Goleman introduces us to two incredibly important concepts: the high road and the low road of the brain. Imagine you're driving. The high road is your conscious, thinking brain. It's the part of you that's planning your route, thinking about your destination, and deciding when to change lanes. It's methodical, deliberate, and relatively slow. The low road is your gut reaction. It's what happens when a car suddenly cuts you off. Before you even have a chance to think, "Wow, that was dangerous." Your heart is already pounding. Your hands grip the wheel, and a surge of adrenaline and anger flashes through you. That is the low road. It's incredibly fast, it's automatic, and it's dripping with emotion. It's your brain's ancient survival system, always scanning for threats. Now here's where it gets amazing. Goleman tells the story of a man called Patient X, who was completely blind because the visual centers in his brain were destroyed. He couldn't tell a circle from a square. But when researchers showed him pictures of happy or angry faces, he could guess the emotion far better than chance. How? Because the information was traveling on a second, hidden pathway, the low road. The signal went from his eyes straight to his amygdala, the brain's emotion center, completely bypassing the thinking part of his brain. He wasn't seeing the anger. His body was feeling it. This is happening to us all the time. Our low road is constantly reading the nonverbal signals from others, a slight frown, a shift in tone, and it primes that same feeling in us before our conscious high-road brain has even processed what's happening. This is emotional contagion. It's the central mechanism of the emotional economy. It doesn't have to be a big, angry outburst. Scientists in one study had students listen to a terribly dry philosophical essay, but the reading was recorded in two versions, one with a subtly happy tone of voice, the other subtly sad. The students had no idea their moods were being manipulated, but afterward, the ones who heard the happy tape felt happier, and the ones who heard the sad tape felt sadder. We are constantly being nudged by these mood drivers, often without realizing it. It gets even more subtle. When you see a picture of a smiling face, even for a fraction of a second, the muscles in your own face automatically start to form a smile. We are wired to mimic what we see, and that mimicry then triggers the feeling in our own bodies. We are, in a very real sense, built for connection. This brings us to the final, critical piece of this chapter: insincerity. What happens when someone's words don't match their feelings? Your low road knows. In another fascinating experiment, two women watched a harrowing film about the aftermath of the nuclear bombing of Hiroshima. Afterwards, one woman was told to be totally honest about her disturbed feelings. The other was told to suppress her emotions and pretend to be indifferent. The open woman immediately felt that something was off with her partner. But here's the shocker. As they talked, the blood pressure of both women started to rise steadily. The tension of the woman suppressing her true feelings was contagious. It was a physical burden on both of them. Our brain has a built-in radar for this kind of mismatch. When someone's face is smiling while they tell a sad story, a different part of our brain activates, a part specialized in vigilance for social threats. The low road reveals what the high road tries to conceal: the bridge to your life, becoming an emotional investor. Okay, so this is all fascinating, but what does it mean for you, for us, in our daily lives? It means that we are far more powerful than we realize. Every time you interact with someone, the barista at the coffee shop, your kids, your boss, you are making a deposit or a withdrawal in their emotional bank account and in your own. You are an emotional investor. The question is, are you investing in positivity, making the world around you a little bit richer? Or are you spreading a kind of emotional debt? You don't have to be a bubbly extrovert. Goleman talks about a supermarket cashier whose cheerful patter just infected everyone, making even the grumpiest customers smile. That cashier is what's called a Zeitgeber, a force that pulls others into their rhythm. Here's the smallest, most actionable step you can take from this chapter. For the next 24 hours, just become an observer of the emotional economy. Notice the transactions. When you talk to someone, ask yourself afterward, do I feel a little better or a little worse? Don't judge it, just notice it. Notice your own broadcasts. Pay attention to your own tone of voice and facial expression. Are you broadcasting stress and frustration without realizing it? Or are you offering a little bit of warmth? Practice a micro-investment. Choose one person today, a cashier, a co-worker, a family member, and make a conscious effort to offer them a genuine, warm smile. Look them in the eye and smile. That's it. You've just made a positive deposit. The first step isn't to change anything, but simply to become aware of this powerful, invisible world of connection that we are all a part of. Your turn to reflect now. I want to open the floor to you all. Let's discuss this together. A question of connection. Think about the last day or so. Can you recall a specific moment when you caught an emotion from someone else, good or bad? What did that feel like in your body? A question of clarity or challenge. The idea of the low road, making us feel things before our high road brain even knows what it's seeing, is a big one. Does this idea excite you? Or does it feel a little unsettling to think you're not always in conscious control? A question of intention. Of the small steps we just discussed, what is one tiny thing you feel you could try this week to be a more positive contributor to the emotional economy for someone else?